Hello, and I'd like to welcome you to MADMaxCNX. Now, when I first saw this player, I was like, well, this player looks like he just started his account because of the whole Mad Max thing. But granted, obviously Mad Max isn't very new, but I was like, well, seems kind of overly convenient. This is a pretty well-played account. I, in my current account, have around 17,000 battles. This is an account that's been around for a while. It's a very well-played account. Now, not very good for, I don't know how you can be kind of mid in a BBM, but as always, generalized theory is that this is probably a sold account. I don't really have, there are a lot of accounts that I've seen sold recently on the website that I generally frequent, just to see what's going on with the website for any sort of research that I do. But yeah, the general consensus is a lot of these accounts are stolen and then resold, or the person who owned the account sold it themselves, which, like I said before, isn't unheard of. Some of these accounts sell for quite a lot of money. I don't know why you would sell an account that's potentially tied to a Steam account, though. I know you can unlink it, but it still seems just like a bad idea. These are the players that put me off from playing top tier. I do have top tier in 3 nations. I believe right now for me it's Sweden, Russia, and America. I just don't have some of the couple of the top tier vehicles. But I've already spaded the BBM because it's easy. I've already spaded the T90M. It's too easy to play, and I don't think Gaijin really gets map composites or map components correct. There shouldn't be a top tier map that is smaller than a kilometer by a kilometer. I don't understand their logic of doing these tiny maps when we always have these huge map areas. Like Flanders, for instance, could be a huge map, but they don't do that. Like, I don't understand the logic of having a tiny map like this when in reality it could be a very cool map space. But instead we get Flanders, which is more like a Tiger 1 level BR of map. But yeah, so here, watch this. So 1 done, 2, 3, 4 snaps to all 4 targets. So that's a dead giveaway. I'm just gonna interrupt my train of thought, but snapping at people through terrain, I don't really have to reiterate how stupid it is that this player is doing what they're doing. But yes, it's the reason why I don't play top tier. The main reason why is because top tier is extremely boring. People tend to leave maps very quickly, and Gaijin thinks that these maps need to be tiny. I don't know why Gaijin thinks we need tiny maps, and then they try to introduce stun mechanics in the dumbest way possible. So surveys are cool and all, and I don't mind that they do a survey system, but I find it extremely obnoxious that people voted for a stun mechanic in this game. Now, I understand the concept of it. Doing a stun mechanic would be, hey, I shot through a tank, my shrapnel hit some of the GOT crew, didn't kill him, hey, he should be stunned. The problem is Gaijin kind of already does that, because there are tanks with, I'm sorry, electrically or hydraulically driven turret drives, and yet if my gunner is hurt, well, now my turret rotation is slower for no freaking reason. That is something that is actually a bug that Gaijin has refused to fix. And that's been how many years since that has been around? And I don't want that again. I don't want to slow down my gameplay even more. I don't know why people want more of a slow gameplay, because that would introduce more slow gameplay. And I know people are worried about it being like a World of Tanks sort of thing. In reality, it's not a World of Tanks thing. It's more like a unique, more unique stun mechanic where if your crew's injured, then it's it. It's not a shell shock mechanic like World of Tanks does. And I'm glad it doesn't do that, because it means any HE shell or any autocannon hit would cause a stun mechanic. Now, Gaijin said that they might still implement it because of how close the results were. No. I'm the same way with no more fire chances. I voted no. I voted yes to healing and yes to the 4th one. I don't remember what the 4th one was. I voted yes to 2 of them and no to 2 of them. I voted no to more fire chances and no to stun mechanics. I didn't want them because the game is the core way the game is played right now is completely fine. We don't need to slow the game down anymore. We don't need to do anything issue-wise with the game. It works well for what it is. The biggest thing the game has a problem with currently is compression in the BRs. That's it. why is ground forces still at 11.3 or 11.7, whatever it is now? I don't play attention because I don't do top tier anymore. Or I very rarely play top tier. The thing is, we need bigger maps, we need more decompression, and the decompression for ground should be at the same level as air now. They should match 1 for 1. They shouldn't be separated. Now, I know there's more aircraft than there are tanks, because that's just the way it's going to be, because as of right now, tanks are kind of peaked out what they are now. There's not a lot more they can do besides upgrade packages, like the Abrams with the other upgrade packages it has. But we don't need any more versions. We need to just have more decompression and more balance. Obviously, fixing the cheating is another thing that needs to be resolved, but the general premise of the game is there's things that the people have been asking for that need to be resolved in a more timely manner. And I don't know why Gaijin thinks that they need to unbalance things the way they are and not decompress things that need to be decompressed. Because at this point, the game should probably be at 13.0 or higher, but Gaijin thinks that's going to affect matchmaking times. But I never have a match make longer than 10 seconds at almost any BR I play. So I don't know why they think they need to make that any longer or shorter, because they still won't test a lower BR spread for matchmaking like 0.7, which I think would be a good thing to test on the live server, even if it's for a week. Then they could get their metric. But they don't want to do that because the game is already frustrating enough as is, and that's what makes them money. So, I'll leave it there. As always, I hope you have the rest of your morning, day, evening, or night, and have a good one.